got that crisscross, and then into far eastern portions of Sumter County, all the way past the interstate, and then into northern Clarendon County. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions. This is, again, a radar indicated possible tornado moving to the northwest at about 25 miles an hour. So Turbeville, you've got about 3 minutes before the center circulation gets to your area. Shiloh at 149. Scottsville, 154. Over by Pleasant Grove, 159. Maysville at 201. Atkins at 206. And Lynchburg at 210. And if it continues on this track as it gets into Lee County, over by Mount Pleasant High School at 212. Again, this is the tornado warning from the National Weather Service, radar indicated tornado. And let me clear some of this up here just to see where exactly this may be. Again, we still have, this is the newest tornado warning we have. We still have the one for Orangeburg that we'll get back to quick in just a moment. Again, the doesn't have a great circulation to this one that is in Clarendon County, but nevertheless, if switch over to another velocity product that we can see, that would be our circulation. So let me clear this up. This would be it right here. Now, what's a little bit odd is that we not only have one, but it looks like a circulation over here. This is the warned storm. So this is going to be right now, if not right in Sardinia, it's going to be maybe a half a mile to a mile straight east from downtown, from the center of town. And this is going to be the projection area. So Turbeville, Shiloh, you should already be taking your tornado precautions. Watching this one here, it looks like a circulation trying to form. And let's just take a look at one other velocity. Yeah, so we may have two separate circulations. The one that's just on or just to the east of Sardinia, and another one that is, put that just around I-95, about maybe 3 to 4 miles to the southwest of Shiloh. So again, this is one of two tornado warnings we have for our viewing area. This one, again, this is a radar indicated tornado warning from the National Weather Service. And it covers, again, Lee, Sumter, and Clarendon counties until 2 o'clock. This is a radar indicated tornado from the National Weather Service. It would be for the circulation that's right near Sardinia, if not right on the doorstep of Sardinia. So that's one. But watching their circulation here to see if that's a possibility of maybe another one that's developing. So again, Lee, Sumter, and Clarendon counties, you have that tornado warning. And I'm going to switch over and take a look at the other one, if you bear with me as I change over to another computer. So this is the other one that we are watching. This one, again, this one is the first one that came out. This is for Orangeburg and Bamberg counties. Let me put a stop on this and get rid of everything except the one tornado warning that we have. So this tornado warning goes until 2 o'clock. And again, it's a radar indicated. It's not a confirmed tornado. It's a radar indicated tornado, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Still moving to relatively to the north, maybe northwest, at about 25 miles an hour. And you notice that we don't see a lot of clarity of where this is. But if it be a position, it would probably be right over, just passing 78. So this is going to be either right in Bamberg or just cross downtown Bamberg along 601. So say to the east of 601 and north of 78 by about a mile. Again, it's a radar indicated one. Let's see if on our storm relative velocity, which is another product that will give us an indication of where the circulation would be. Not a very noticeable spin, if you will. Usually when we see a circulation, we've got a noticeable spin. And when we look at that, we look specifically at which direction the spin is going. And it's not very clear as far as if this would be tornado confirmed. Waiting some more additional information from the National Weather Service. But again, this is the first one. Again, this covers Bamberg and Orangeburg counties. Now, not all of Bamberg County. Pretty much at this time, if you are south of 78 and downtown Bamberg, all the way across to Denmark and the tech school, if you're anywhere south of here, even though we're still in a tornado warning south of 78, this is where the circulation would be. So anywhere in Bamberg County, outside of this polygon, you don't have to worry about this particular tornado warning. If you're south of 78 and then south of Bamberg, yes, it doesn't look like the circulation is near you, but still, take your tornado precautions, because could we have windy conditions? No doubt, even though you're south of the flanking line of where the storm is. And we got another update, so bear with me one moment as we pull that up and we see what the National Weather Service has on that. And the latest update is still continue a tornado warning until June 25. The tornado was located just about over downtown Bamberg, moving north at 25. So let me get a track on that one, and that will put it right about in that location. So we should be getting close to it crossing over the county line with the next 4 to 5 minutes. It is still moving to the northwest at about 25 miles an hour. So it should be crossing over, let's see, it's 1:45 now. It should be crossing over 301 into Orangeburg County in about 4 minutes, and then eventually into the area right around the Votech in Cope at 1:56. So you got about 8 minutes if you live in Cope, south of 70, before the center of circulation gets to you. Again, the circulation that we're looking at right now, if this is the actual area where it's located, would be right about there. So that's the point that we're looking at of where the center of circulation would be. So if you live anywhere north of 78, all the way to the county line with this polygon, you should be already taking your tornado precautions, since this was issued about 14 minutes ago. But again, this is a radar indicated tornado. We do not have confirmation that this is a confirmed tornado, but nevertheless a storm that has the capability of producing a tornado. That's for Orangeburg and Bamberg County. We'll go back up to the other one that we had, and this is now for, again, this is Lee, Sumter, and Clarendon County. National Weather Service issued this just a few minutes after the Orangeburg-Bamberg one. It's still in effect until 2 o'clock. National Weather Service indicated that this is a storm that has the capability of producing a tornado. Position right now would be probably right about crossing Sumter Highway. No, sorry, not Sumter Highway, 301 in Sumter Highway, just near or to the west of Turbyville. Let me take this off for one moment so we can look a little bit closer. And again, that would be, it just passed Sardinia about maybe 2 minutes ago. So continue to be vigilant of where this storm is moving. I don't see a very broad circulation on this storm. Let's see what it looks like in reflectivity, and that would be the appendage right there, at least where the rain is starting, where the position would be. Now, the reflectivity is only showing the rain. It's not showing the actual winds associated with it. This would be the velocity product, and again, we're looking at a specific circulation that would have a red and green color or pixels that would be right next to each other, and It's not very clear, which is a good thing because it would have a noticeable distinct, sometimes you'd hear the word couplet, or a red and green color right next to each other, which would indicate a circulation. But nevertheless, we still have the tornado warning that remains in effect, and this will cover portions of far northern Clarendon, east, southeast Lee, and far eastern Sumter County until 2 o'clock. And if you have not already done so, go ahead and take your tornado precautions. If the storm would be set right about there, if we put, that would be the wrong speed, moving at 25 miles an hour. So put it right about there, since it's quite a broad and not specifically defined circulation. This will be right over Sunnyside in about 2 minutes. Plum Hall School at 1:57, Atkins at 2:13, Fleming School at 2:16, and then Lynchburg at 2:17, even though the storm warned only goes until 2 o'clock. So as we look a little bit closer of, again, where this would be, this should be, at this point, just crossing over 378. And I'll take the warning off for just a moment so we can look at the velocity to see if it is actually making a more distinct motion. And it really isn't. Really not that broad of circulation, but it'll be right about here in the vicinity of 378, so just on the west side of town of Turbyville. But this would be the area. Notice not red at all, but there's a little bit of highlight of green, so this may be the area of where it would be. So anywhere from right over the county line of Sumter and Clarendon County, in the areas along and south of Shiloh and 378 in Turbyville, this is the area where it would potentially be. Still waiting. We have not gotten any confirmation yet from the National Weather Service if this is a confirmed tornado or not. Again, you should be already taking your tornado precautions for Clarendon, Lee, and Sumter County, at least for the next 9 minutes, as we were waiting for that. And still not showing any specific circulation on it, so that is a good thing. But just because we don't have a circulation doesn't mean that we don't have any strong winds. In fact, I'll take a look at what the winds look like in this area. Just give us an idea of how strong the winds are actually moving. And they're not that strong at this point, which is really a really good thing. The winds just to the south of town in Turbyville, maybe 20 miles an hour. You notice there's a negative there. It's not at negative 22 miles an hour because there wouldn't be such a thing. That's the speed of the wind based on the radar that is moving away from the radar. That's why it's got a 22. But also you're talking about a distance from the radar at Columbia Metropolitan Airport. So this, where this velocity is, that's probably going to be more about 1,500 feet off the ground. So if we only got 19 mile an hour wind speeds there, probably not talking about very strong winds south of town in Turbyville. Get over to Shiloh, just about the same. To the west of Shiloh, 11. So we don't have specific clarity on not only if we have a tornado, but if we have significant winds associated with it. Take off the warning just so we can see if there's anything distinct. And that area that we're looking at, again, it's a very broad circulation and nothing that shows an actual tornado, at least by radar. But this would be the area that it would be at. So continue that tornado warning for, again, Lee, Sumter, and Clarendon County until 2 o'clock. And it's 1:53 now. So we'll continue on that storm. We'll go back to the Orangeburg and Bamberg one. So we got two tornado warning, folks, and just wanted to make sure that no one is being left out of these particular warnings. And of course, we've got showers all over the Midlands, but this still continues until 2 o'clock. The latest update we got was about 9 minutes ago. Still moving to the northwest at about 25 miles an hour. And just put this up real quick just so that people have an idea. So it should be moving over downtown Cope, or at least between Cope and 301 in the next about 4 or 5 minutes. And then if it extends further north, closer to Highway 70, we're talking about Edisto Middle, between 70 and 301, about 202. Let me take all of this off so we can actually look and see if we have any kind of circulation. And again, since it's moving about 25 miles an hour, there's a possibility that this would be the circulation. Now you can see on velocity, which is the wind speed, there's not a lot of distinctiveness to the circulation, but again, it would put it right about here. So I've put a track on that since it is a pretty broad scale one, and just extend it just to the west of Cordova. So yeah, just talking about the relatively the same timing. So from Cope all the way up 301 and approaching Highway 70, should be taking your tornado precautions already, as this is where this storm at least is moving to. Don't have a clear indication that we've got a tornado on this, but nevertheless, as a tornado warning storm, you should take this as if it was already a confirmed tornado. Now, we looked at the wind speeds or the velocity when we were up in the northeastern Midlands. This would be the center circulation. So we're looking just about to the same degree where the winds are really not that strong, which is a big plus, meaning we don't have a confirmed circulation. And there's no indication right now that this is a confirmed tornado, but Bamberg, even though you're under the tornado warning still, because that was issued at 1:30, center circulation now is in Orangeburg County. So if you live along the Orangeburg-Bamberg County line, all the way south of Bamberg, down 601 and 362, you're under the warning, but the storm is no longer in Bamberg County. Still take your precautions and be careful if there was any wind-associated debris, could be even much as a branch that is blown around. You definitely want to make sure that you can see before you get through. And even though we don't have the center circulation in Bamberg anymore, you know, $2 to get you 10. It's probably raining pretty hard right now. Yep, it's still raining pretty hard all along 78 from Denmark all the way through Bamberg and Midway. So if you don't have to venture out right now, you have power, you're watching us, or your neighbors have power as well. Unless you see any kind of debris, I wouldn't go out until at least we've got a little break in the rain and the winds. The winds are not a big issue right now, but again, the center circulation at this point would put it just to the south of the split of 301 and number 332, just about there. And looking at, again, the velocity to send the winds, and you can see the radar's updated, so I put it right about here, right at the clip of County 332 and Highway 301 for Orangeburg and Bamberg County, although this will be specifically at this point now for Orangeburg for about another 3 minutes. Quickly go back over to the western, why do I keep on saying western, folks? The eastern portions of the Midlands, and this is the tornado warning for Clarendon, Lee, and Sumter County for about another 2-3 minutes. Did not confirm a tornado, but this was a storm capable of producing a tornado. Now, at this point, we could pretty much say that Clarendon, this is no longer a concern for you. I'm going to zoom into where I believe the circulation might be, but taking off the covered polygon area, I don't see any distinct marks, especially when we're looking for red and green colors right next to each other, indicating a couplet or an area where the winds are spinning in opposite directions. And from velocity to another product which is called storm relative velocity, that includes the motion of the storm as it moves to whatever direction. In this case, it's moving to the north-northwest. There's no distinct circulation, but nevertheless, you still need to take your tornado precautions again although it includes Clarendon, at this point right now, this is going to be primarily for Sumter and Lee counties. So you already should be taking your tornado precautions if you live anywhere along and south of the Lynches River from 401 in eastern Lee County, all the way down County 527, and then into Sumter County. And this would be from the Sumter Highway all the way across to I-95 and then number 53 heading up past Shiloh. Center circulation would be somewhere in this area, but there's no distinct marks that indicate it. But this, again, goes until 2 o'clock, and it is now just about 2 o'clock, so we're going to keep on watching those. But those are the only two tornado warnings we have, and both of them have expired. So just to make sure we don't have anything else that is showing, we're going to switch over and check with the rain. Obviously is the other big thing, and I'm going to take off all the watches and warnings and just go through and see on all of the motion where they're going, because again, we have quite a bit of rain that's coming down. We have multiple flash flood warnings, river flood warnings already, and just pull these up real quick. Still have let me start off with the farther north. So we still have a flood warning, and this is for Kershaw, Lee, and Lancaster counties. And I'll take the radar off in just a second so you can see where it is. That is the river flood warning. So let me make sure that specifies it's the river flood warning for the Wateree River, and that includes Fairfield, Kershaw, and Lancaster County. So this extends all the way from Lake Wateree down the Wateree River into Kershaw County. And obviously it extends into areas just on the cuff of Lancaster County. And then as I extend that even furthermore, again, then we'll have the extension of the Wateree River into Kershaw County, and then the Wateree River going into areas of Sumter and Richland County as well. Then we have the river flood warning. This is going to be for the Saluda River, and this is going to be for, at least for our viewing area, for Newberry County. But that flood warning, again, is a river flood warning. And then the one that we have that, unfortunately, you folks, you know only too well, if you live around or close to the Congaree River, well, we already have river flood warnings in effect for the Congaree River at the split by the zoo, as well as down by Carolina Eastman, the river flood warning for that. Those are river flood warnings. We currently do not have regular flood warnings, but we do have advisories. And as we go through that real quick again, so a flood advisory, and this covers Fairfield, Kershaw, and Richland counties, and that goes until Fairfield, Kershaw, Lancaster, and Richland County until 2:30. Then going down the line, we have the one that's for the central portions of Richland County, as well as western Lower Richland, eastern Lexington County, so pretty much from east of Lake Murray and number 6, all the way down to Gaston and Pelion, then extending into our western portions of Calhoun County, and that's going to be pretty much from St. Matthews Burke Road all the way up to up to Carolina Eastman, so including Colcall and Sandy Run, and then into Orangeburg County, and pretty much from 321 Nices and North, all the way across to downtown Orangeburg, and then all the way down to Branchville, and that goes until 4 o'clock. And putting back the radar to see where everything is again, we have a lot of rainfall that's still coming down. Both tornado warnings have expired. So the key message right now, folks, is this. We've got a lot of rainfall that's still coming down. The storms are going to be continuing as we go through, really, at this point, all the way into the late afternoon, evening, and overnight hours. The key thing is that because we are not feeling the direct effects of Hurricane Helene yet, this is all the stuff that was going to come first. So this is going to be wave 1. This may dissipate in a few hours, but wave 2 will be coming in sometime around 7 o'clock. There'll be another wave, and then as that dissipates, and at that point Helene is about to have already made landfall, we will have the third wave that'll be coming in sometime after 1 a.m. starting first in the southern and western Midlands, and that will continue through tomorrow morning. But again, we don't have any tornado warnings on right now. We just have flash flood and river flood warnings, and the flash flood warnings will continue, or the flood advisories as well, until 2 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. News 19 weather team is already on this. We've been on this since we had the tornado watch issued this morning before 9 o'clock. We will make sure that we issue all the information, and if we have another tornado warning, we will be on air here on News 19. But for now, we'll return you back to regular programming. I'm News 19 Chief Meteorologist Efren Afante.